Well, hello, everybody. Well, hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Alrighty, so I'm getting ready here to come to you today for the first time on a Thursday in a long time. You guys give me, here we go. Let's get this back kind of where we need it to be. Sorry about that, y'all. I am sitting here and I'm playing with this new to me streaming software called Streamlabs, and so I'm just getting used to everything. So I'm hoping that you guys are seeing me and knowing and being comfortable. I'm working with it, trying to get comfortable, but I'm hoping that you guys are seeing me, you're hearing me, and you are just as excited that I am back with you on another for more Chat and Caddy. I am your ATX Stampin' Lady. I am Caron Bailey, independent demonstrator here in Austin, Texas, and I am excited to be back with you guys again tonight. Let's see what else we got going on tonight. You guys bear with me. Oops. All right, let me put this right in this corner here so that I am out of the way here. Okay, cool. All right, so tonight, let me go quickly run through all of the promotions and the events that we have going on. Guys, we released a new kit for the month of August, and it is the Kit Together. It is the Festive Tags Kit available. And y'all, I don't normally make tags because, one, I don't give a lot of gifts per se. There's really not a lot of young people in my family, so I don't physically give gifts. So I think this will probably be more of me trying to recreate and utilize these tags in other ways. So that's probably what's going to happen here. All right, so then here we got this, and then you guys, the other thing that we have to deal with today, let me share with you what other promotions that we've got going on tonight. So we have our paper pumpkin. Tonight is the last night to subscribe for the Meaningful Flowers paper pumpkin kit. There will be a new kit released tomorrow. So if you are wanting to get this kit, you must sign up tonight in order to get that. Plus, you guys, with this kit, there's an extra stamp set with this month's kit, so you don't want to miss out. And as always, you guys, if there are any products that you see that I'm using tonight that you want to purchase, definitely feel free to purchase that item using the host code for the month. And then make sure if your order is $150 or more that you let me know, so that way you benefits as being the hostess for spending $150 or more. And you guys, one more thing before we get started. Okay, I have to share it with you. Here is the cover of the mini catalog September to December. Unfortunately, by Stampin' Up rules, I cannot open this and I cannot share with you anything that's on the inside. But I can share with you that I have my catalog. I got my catalog. And you guys, if you are one of my VIP customers, and to be one of my VIP customers, that meant you would have placed an order within 3 months before, I think it was July 31st. Anytime in that quarter, you were automatically on my list to get this catalog sent directly to you. Don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator and would love a catalog, you guys. All it takes is a minimum purchase on my website. Add the catalog to your cart at that time. I believe it's $5, and I will send you a gift comparable to the cost of the catalog. So the catalog is kind of, you get a free gift, the same value or more, because we don't have anything $5 in the catalog. So I'm excited to share with this as a demonstrator. We get to pre-order, and you know what, with pre-order, you guys, my pre-order is supposed to get here on Saturday. So what that means is that we're gonna do an unboxing. Whoop whoop. I didn't really order a lot. I ordered, I ordered all of the designer series paper that's in the catalog, and there's 15 different designer series papers in the catalog, I believe it was, if I remember correctly. And I'm doing a paper share this year. I need at least 4 people in my paper share for it to be a good share. Okay, so that means everything is going to be split between the 4 people. All of the catalogs, you will get a quarter of everything that's in the catalog. All right, let's get started with tonight, you guys. Tonight we are featuring the inked Botanicals collection. That's what it's called. The suite is called the Inked Botanicals collection. Let's go to page 94, 95 of the catalog, because that's where it's at. And in this suite, you guys, and I'm going to share with you, in the suite, you will get the designer series paper. You'll get the ribbon, and there's 2 punches, okay? And this suite is $80.75. You guys, I think it's very versatile, so it's definitely one to have. The paper is gorgeous. I did a I showed you the designer series paper earlier, and we'll be using them. This suite color coordinates with Petal Pink, Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Lost Lagoon, Pool Party, and it does so many others. It's just not, this is just the colors that's in the designer series paper. So tonight, you guys, here's what I'm thinking we're gonna do. I am prepped somewhat and we are gonna work on these 3 cards tonight, okay? 1, 2, and 3. If I get out of frame at all tonight, you guys, please don't hesitate to let me know, and I will do my best to make sure that I come back into frame for you. All right, so let me share with you the actual products. So like I said, in the kit, or in the suite, you have the Stampin' Up, the stamps, and it is red rubber. There are 12 cling stamps in the set. Oh, what did I do with the scent? Oh, I used the sentiment earlier. I'm gonna have to go find that one, y'all. And it comes with 2 punches. 1 and 2. And the ribbon. Right here. Now, this suite is also the suite that I'm doing for my my class of the month, my online class. Now, I'm changing it up again, you guys. So what's going to happen is in my online classes, my videos are my classes, because I'm going to feature that stamp set or that bundle, and the tutorials are what I will have available for sale, written tutorials. So I won't be leaving a lot of information on there. That's stuff that you can purchase in the tutorial. And my tutorials will be $15 full color, and they will be emailed to you. Okay, so here we go. Here's before we get started. Oh, this is one that I was starting with. Look at this one. The paper is play with this card, this one right here. Now this is Petal Pink, is what I think it is, and I tried to pre-cut a lot of things this afternoon. I didn't get to all of it, but I did try to pre-cut a lot. So of course my card base is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at, it's going to be scored at 4.25. And I have a piece of pale papaya. I'm sorry, this is petal pink, sorry. And this is 3.25 by 4.5. I've already embossed this. I don't know if you can see the embossing. Trying to get it not so much from the glare. So you can see I've already embossed this, and I think this one is retired. This is the Quatrefoil embossing folder. I love it. I rarely used it, but I actually do love it. So that's what we're going to use for that one. All right, so let's get started with this one. So from what I see is we have just punched some of the designer series paper. Okay, so there's 3 of the X's and 1 of the other punch. Oops. So let's just grab our piece of designer paper. And I do make these little sleeves to hold my 6x6 once I cut them down. I do make these little sleeves. This one was a 6x6 pack anyway. Which one is that one? Okay, I think I'm just gonna go with this one. So we need 3 of the X's. X's and O's, they haunt me. Oh, you know what the thing is with this one though? Here's why I'm gonna look for something different. You see how this looks like it's more ivory-ish? I think there's one that's more of a white base backing. So that's kind of what I'm gonna look for. The one that's more white-ish. X's and the O's, they haunt me. Okay, nobody said I could sing, okay? Nobody said that. I may not know what I was talking about. Anyway, so we're just going to punch 3 of them. And I'm very cheap with my paper. And when I say cheap, I don't always go flush to the base of the punch, because that's about, in my opinion, maybe about a 1/4 inch of paper. So I always kind of take a look at it and make sure that I get as close to the edge as possible, so that and not cut off any of the picture, if that makes any sense. Okay, so that's my thought process with paper saving. I don't like to waste, and so that's 1. Again, I'm looking to see where that is and then line it up. That's 2. Looking to see where that is, line it up. That's 3. I only need 3 X's and 1 of my, I think I'm going to call this a Star of David. Is this a Star of David? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's a Star of David, isn't it? I could be very, very wrong. And then, trying to be economical again. There we go. Waste not, want not. That's how I like to think of things. Okay, so here we go. I did not score my card base, so let me bring my Stampin' trimmer out. Okay, and I'm gonna put with this, so on the 4 1/4, And then we're gonna score. Bring out a scoring tool. I have so many scoring tools, and when I need one, I can never find one. So we're gonna just use the one that's on the tray. Okay. And we've got a good enough score line, and then we're gonna use our lip right here to make sure that everything lines up right. Come in with our bone folder and burnish our folds, okay? It's one way to make sure that you have, it's one way to make sure that you have, uh-oh. I dropped my cutting blade fell out. There we go. And I didn't want to lose it, so I don't know why it keeps falling out. But anyway, there we go. All right, so once that's done, and because I typically like to make sure that I like to build my card first and then, so I'm just gonna lay this out how I think it is. Like there, like there. And I'm paying attention to make sure that the flowers, because there were flowers on the designer series paper, so I'm making sure that the flowers are in the right orientation, okay? This one's up here, and then this one's about here. So once I'm okay with where I have things placed, I'm gonna go ahead and adhere them, okay? Now, I think for me, I want all of these to have some sort of dimension, except this one. And I won't give this one dimension because I'm going to pop the sentiment part of that with dimensions, okay? All right. So, I'm knowing that for me, okay. And I'm making sure that I knew exactly where my dimensions were. Okay, that's one. And then this one's gonna go here. So sometimes it's just easier to make sure you have a roadmap as to where you're going with your project, so that you make sure that you put the adhesives in the right place and that kind of thing. Otherwise you could end up with a little bit something other than what you bargained for, if that makes sense. All right, so this is here. Make sure I'm using my grid lines again to line everything up. And I think about center mass is where I'm gonna go with that, right there. And then that will be on the bottom. And I'm constantly checking again just to make sure that I'm putting adhesive in the right place. sure the paper's on the grid lines. And I'm going to put this about right here. Okay. Then I'm going to come in with my liquid glue. And really, it's only this little guy that's not on the cardstock. So I'm just going to go right like this. Again, making sure that everything is even. Then I'm going to line it up with the cardstock like that. And there we go. Okay. Now, let's grab our cardstock and get our sentiment, lots of love. I might be changing things up just a tad, y'all, because I left the other sentiment. I was working on it in my office. Shh, don't tell anybody. While I was at work. All right, let's make sure this is somewhat even. Okay. Then we're going to use our block, line that up. And I'm going to grab a piece of basic white. And I believe that that's Calypso Coral. At least that's the color I'm going to go with. Calypso Coral. I just realized I did not pull any of my inks for tonight. I didn't pull not a one. All right. Get our sentiment inked up. I might have to get a new ink pad. Something's going on with my ink pad. Okay, make sure it's even. Lots of love. Might just need to add some more ink on there, but something's going on with my ink pad. All right, let's bring our trimmer back in, and we're almost done with card number 1, y'all. Almost. Not quite, but almost. Okay. And I think we'll be okay if we do a 5/8 strip. Did 2 1/4. But again, whatever sentiment you choose, just make sure to cut your size even with that, okay? Alrighty, now I know this is a Pick a Banners punch, and I want my banner to look like that. Okay, So I'm one of those people that I turn my punch over. I might need a, I might need a sticky note. And I'm only looking for the sticky note to extend it into the punch. And you'll see what I mean by that. I was having a little bit of trouble getting it in there. And so all I'm going to do is use the sticky note to give me a little extra room. Okay? Make sure I'm putting it in the right one. I was not. Alright. And so now that I have it in the punch, I can actually line it up. Okay? Alright, I don't like how that came out. I think I was off just a tad. Alright, so I'm going to redo this. I don't know if I didn't do it right. Oopsie daisy. So one way to do this as well is if you don't have a punch, is I fold mine evenly. And you can go from the outside or you can go from the inside. Okay? Now I'm flagging it the wrong way, but that's okay. It's okay. We'll just change up the design just a little bit, that's all. I might end up just redoing it because, okay. All right, so we have one. I'm gonna restamp it, y'all. I'm not happy. And because I'm not happy, I have to redo it. Sorry. I'm not a perfectionist per se, because I'm really not. But there are just some things that I know would get on my nerves. And so because I know it's going to get on my nerves, it's best just to correct it at the time, right? All right, so here we go. Now we're going to bring our trimmer back. It's just easier that way for me. All right, and now that that's in there, let's turn it this way. Da 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 da. Okay. I find that when you do it that way, at least that's a tip, because it's you have the ends together. That means it's in the middle. So regardless of what you do, it will always be even. Okay. All right. And so now I'm just gonna bring in a piece of, not a piece of, but my dimensionals again on my foam dots. 1, 2, 3. And we can use the flag end here to make sure that everything is lined up. Okay, so with the exception of, let's get this card put together now. Where is our card base? So we have our card base. We're going to bring our card base in, and then we're just going to put this guy right here in the middle, like so, and our first card will be done. I just had a thought. It's not in the image, right? But I'm gonna add a little something something to this card because I think it could use a little Caron in it, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm taking this image from the set and I'm gonna grab my petal pink, and before I adhere this layer, I'm just gonna add a little bit of something with this abstract image that's in the set, and I'm just gonna do it in maybe clusters of 3. Maybe. No, I think that's good enough. All right. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead and finish this card, okay? Adhesive. Again, because I'm using, because I did an emboss, it's an embossing folder, or embossed, and there's some additional ridges in the cardstock. I would recommend using either liquid adhesive or tear and tape in this particular situation, just because to make sure you have proper adhesion to the card. There you go. Here we go. And our first card is done. But it's our envelope. Grab us an envelope. And I just had a thought. I always just have thoughts. Do you guys ever realize that? So what I'm going to do, grab me some scrap cardstock. Grab me a little piece of scrap. All right, let me just grab a... And I'm just going to punch this out. And here's why I'm going to do that, right? You can keep that if you want. Okay. And I'm going to use this as a mask. All right. I'm going to grab me my little brush here. With my Calypso Coral. I'm going to line this up on my cardstock, and I want my design to go over the entire flap. Okay. Give a little sneak peek as to what's inside. Now, I'm a firm believer in no naked envelopes, so there will not be any naked envelopes here today. And then we can turn this over like so. To get our third. All right, so there's our envelope. I just had that thought too, y'all. All right, so our first card is done with envelope. Oh, I didn't put a piece of cardstock on the inside. So I would use a piece of basic white. And so here's our card on envelope for card number 1. I need to try to, hold on, see if I can bring this in anymore. Sorry about that, y'all. Like I said, I am learning this new system. Trying to make sure that y'all can see everything that needs to be seen and not things that does not need to be seen. And I'm trying to figure out how to zoom it in as close as possible so that you can see what's going on. Okay, so card number 1 is done. And then let's get started on the second card. And I think for that one, we're going to work on this card right here. All right, so our card base is the same size, 8.5 by 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. That is a standard, typical A2 size card base. And you'll find that most card makers in the US tend to use that size. And we're using a bit of very vanilla cardstock today. And we've already gone through, and I've already gone through and selected 2 of the designer series paper that we're going to use for tonight. Okay, let's get our base scored and put away, and then we'll get started on us making this card. All right, so of course we want to score it at 4 1/4. Keeping that blade out of the way. Using the lip, go ahead and burnish the fold of the card. Now it's important to make sure that the bottom stays flush with that, and then adjust the top if that's what needs to be adjusted, okay? Perfect. All right, so I do have two sizes of designer series paper. They're 1/4 inch different in size. One's 3 3/4 by 5, the other's 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And so in the image, what I see, this one's a little, everything's a little cut. What is it that she tell me it's called? Cattywampus? Cattywampus. That's the term, I think, is cattywampus. I don't know what a cattywampus thing is, but it's a term I've heard, and it sounds good and appropriate for tonight, right? Alrighty. So we're gonna have this a little cattywampus, like so, up a little bit, like so. And then in here, we use the 5-point punch one. And before I punch anything, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp the image, okay? So what I see is, we've got this main image right here. I think that's like crushed curry, so we're gonna stamp that in some crushed curry. I don't know if the heat is what's getting to my ink pads. Huh. We're gonna just stamp this crushed curry flour right on the card. And I'm stamping it in full strength, y'all. You can choose to stamp off. I'm choosing to go ahead and keep it full strength, okay? And then the leaves, I'm gonna do the leaves in there's my pool party. I'm gonna go with the pool party, although I don't think, I'm gonna grab my garden green, but I think I'm gonna stamp that off, because garden green might be a little bit too much for that. So I'm gonna go with my leaf image. Let's clean it off the floral one, because we need that big block. And I'm also trying to be a little bit of a neater stamper, in that I will put my things away. It's hard for me, y'all. It is hard for me. All right, so let's grab a piece of scrap. You know, how many card makers do you know that's always looking for scrap? Always looking for scrap. I don't know how that's possible. Being a card maker and you're always looking for scrap, there should be scrap everywhere. All right, so I'm gonna stamp this off because I don't want it to be too dark. So I'm gonna do a bit of second generation stamping here today, right now. And maybe even a little bit of third. So let's go with that. And then let's go with up here just a bit. Okay. And then we're gonna go right in with, let me put where's my crushed curry ink? so now I'm going to go in with my 5-point punch. And I'm just going to punch out an image. Punch out a little bit of a square. Okay, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to bring out the thank you sentiment. And I'm going to bring in a piece of very vanilla cardstock. And here's what we are going to do. All right. Line this up. Grab me this sentiment right here. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to go in with, well, because I used garden green, I'm going to use garden green. No, that's not going to work. I took my Lost Lagoon into the other room. And I didn't bring it back. So now here we go. I think this is a close one. This is a close one. This is not Lost Lagoon. Hey, that's what happens when you don't throw anything away. You always have something that you can fall back on, right? All right. So now I know that I want my thank you to be in here. I'm just going to stamp it. Thank you. Perfect. Card number 2 is almost over. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim this to what I need for it to be. Okay. I'm just going to put some little cut lines on here so I know where I need to cut. Okay. Now remember, this piece is 3.5 by 4 3/4. Can it be a little smaller? Absolutely. Actually, I don't even need to do that. All I just need to do is make sure 3 3/4. It's about here. Actually, all I just need to do okay. Well, we already know this is going to line up because that's how we lined it up. Edge to edge, right? Might need to trim a little bit more, but that's okay. And so we're going to put adhesive uh-oh. That's what happens when I don't put my little thing back in there. Okay, so I need adhesive all the way around to include the bottom, and maybe a little bit here. Okay, then all I'm gonna do, because I know where I want them to be, or where I measured them to be. All right. And everything is in place. Perfect. Almost done with this card as well. I think it's getting a little bit easier with Streamlabs. Well guys, again, I'm always thanking you for showing up and supporting the channel. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to stop in, say hi, let me know where you're stamping and joining me from. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Invite your friends, crafty friends, who you think might have a little bit of an appreciation for card making and my particular brand of card making, to be specific. If you are a returning stamper to my channel, thank you guys for coming back. I really appreciate you. I always appreciate that you have other things and other time that you could be doing with spending with other people, and that you choose to spend your time with me. I am always appreciative of that fact. All right. Let's put a little bit of more dimensionals, or so foam tape. On the edges. In the center. Oops. In the middle. When I tell you I love dimensionals and foam tape, I don't like, if you're gonna be using dimensionals, my opinion, or anything of that nature, you know, you don't want, when you touch your card front, it just buckles. That to me is just unfinished, and it's not something that I personally am appreciative of. All right, almost done with this. And y'all, we have not added any embellishments to anything tonight. I'm gonna go back and add them. Not that it was an afterthought, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of dimensionals in the not dimensionals, bling in our catalog images. So, but it's hurting my heart not to put dimensional or bling on things, so I gotta go back and do that. I have to. My heart does not do well when I don't have bling. All right, so this one's a little kittywampus the other way. So there we go. All right, so this card number 2 is done. Gotta do our envelope, because that's what we do. No naked envelopes. And because I already have my little leaf out, I'm going to use that leaf. And again, I'm going to go in with my garden green. And I'm going to stamp off on this one too, because I don't want it so dark on the envelope as well. I think your envelope should kind of give a hint as to what they're going to find when they open the card. Just a hint. Here we go. And that's card number 2. I need bling. So I'm going to put bling on all of them. I'm not sure which ones yet. Let me see what I can find here. don't forget to join us on Sunday for Roll of the Die, starting at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. There will be 3 participating demonstrators in this month's Roll of the Die. And so starting at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Central, and 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, we will have 3 different presenters sharing with you what they've created with the elements from the die. There we go. I feel so much better with some bling on here. All right, our second card is done. All right, so we have time to make one more card, and fortunately this one's not that difficult, I hope. None of them are really difficult. It's just to get it done. So we're starting with a piece of Calypso Coral as our card base. And I didn't get to pre-cut this one, so I'm going to share with you how I actually prep my cards, y'all. So when I'm cutting card bases, generally what happens is I like to get 2 for the price of 1. So I will pretty much score first on the 4 1/4 line. And then I will cut on the 5 1/2. That way I've already just created 2 card bases. That's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. A standard A2 size card, and ready to go for my next card. And if I wanted to make 2 of the same, then of course this is already done and ready to go. Okay, so we have this, and then we're going to need to cut a piece of our designer series paper. I gotta clean my track. I have little edges. I gotta clean my track. All right, so where's our paper? And let's find the piece that we want to use. Now you can use any of the designer series papers in any of the prints in the pack. Because I'm casing, I just kind of want to try to keep it to the same print that they have in the catalog. But you're free to change up and use whichever one you prefer. I might just change it up just for the sake of changing. Let's use this one. Let's use that one. It's a little different, but sometimes I like to be different, right? So looking at the card, it seems like they just cut it to 4 by 5 1/4. So that's all I'm going to do is cut it to 4. By 5 1/4. All right, so now I'm also seeing some other things in here. Let me bring this in a little bit closer. So I see 2 strips, 2 of the stars punched, and another strip of cardstock right here. That looks to be maybe about a 1/2 inch, right? So let's see what we can do here. Let's use this one. So we're gonna punch about 2 of these. Because now we want the orange side, right? One. And 2. And then we need a strip of another. Okay, and I think that looked to be about a 1/2 inch strip. So I'm just gonna cut a, no, that's about a 3/4 inch strip. Let's just cut it to 1 inch. No, that's too big. 3/4 of an inch is what we're gonna trim this at. Actually, let's just make it 1 inch. It's best to have more and not need it, yeah, than to have less and still need to add more, right? Alrighty, that seems to be about 3 inches or so. Let's go with 3.5 to be on the safe side. 3.25. So 3.25 is what I cut. Okay. And so let's see what we have here. So what I'm seeing is something that looks a little bit like this, right? This, this, and then the ribbon behind. Okay, I think we got this. So let's get this stamped. We're gonna stamp this one. Hello, friend. Hello, friend. You guys, again, I'm thanking you guys for joining us tonight. And don't forget, if you are in the state of Texas, I almost forgot to tell you about that. If you are in Texas this weekend, the 11th through the 13th, I believe, is tax-free weekend. So there are, I posted in my newsletter today a link to an Excel spreadsheet that shows you what items, what products you can purchase for the tax-free weekend. There's things like all the alcohol, all the markers you can purchase, all the adhesives. Of course, there's some dollar limits by the state, of course. But there's things like that you can purchase. There's snips you can buy if you like our snips. This is a good weekend to purchase those types of items. It is tax-free weekend, and it's only tax-free on those particular items, okay? So you can't shop for all of the stamp sets and dies, etc., because those are not subject to the tax-free offer, okay? All right, so here we go. And I think it just might be easier because we know that this has got to go here, right? It's just easier to put it there and then adjust, right? Okay, and then we have one on this side. Bring that like this. And again, I like to use my grid lines to help me make sure that I'm lining things up properly. And then this is going to go over top like so. But it's going to go over top with dimensionals, or pop dots. Perfect. Okay. Again, using our grid lines. And then all we're going to do is line this up. Like so. Perfect. And then we're going to put some adhesive. And somebody told me about doing it this way, and you guys, it has saved me so much stress sometimes. Just gonna put a couple of strips of adhesive. Just put it straight down on the card, right? And then I'm gonna use, I just had my ribbon. What did I do? There we go. And then let's just go ahead and lay out the ribbon. Okay, that's how you do that. And then this is going to go right over top like that. You might want to bring another one down. Okay. Sometimes just reach for the scissors that's right next to my hand, but you guys, I tell you, those are definitely not my my ribbon shears, that's for sure. Those will destroy my ribbon in a heartbeat. I'm going to put a little bit more on here. And I'm using my Seal Plus C, so I know C plus, so I know that this is going to be some pretty strong hold. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Okay. And lastly, we're gonna put this guy right on top of this. I'm gonna distress my card base because I already have. And how I'm gonna distress it, I'm just gonna take the edge of my scissors and go along the edge, and that is the look. It is on purpose. I'm just giving it a little bit of a distressed look. I mean, when I trimmed it, I mean, the trimmer had already like given me some rough edges, and then I just said, that's an interesting aesthetic. And so now I'm just taking it throughout the entire card. And making it a part of the aesthetic. Okay. Looking for my dimensional again, or my foam tape again. Oops. And I'm just gonna add the adhesive, and then this card will be done. So I've done several projects already with this inked and tiled botanicals, the inked botanical suite. It is the stamp set of the month that I'm going to be using. Now, I do use other stamp sets, but any of the cards that you see that I'm using this suite, these are I'm making them for as part of the online classes as well. So there will be a tutorial for these 3 classes, or these 3 cards. And again, my tutorials will include at least 3, at the minimum 3 cards, all measurements. They will be available for digital upload or download. Don't forget, I'm doing the paper share for the new catalog. And what the paper share is, I appreciate a paper share, except not except, but if you there's some folks that that their method of shopping is to see something first and then make an opinion about it. But so with the paper share, you get a sampling of all of the new products without fully committing to purchasing the entire package of designer series paper. So you just get a sampling, so you're able to physically see and touch the products. Again, like I said, don't forget to join me on Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time as I go live with our monthly roll of the die. And if I remember my elements correctly, this month the die rolled Bling, DSP, it was Bling, Sympathy, Regals, DSP or foil, excuse me, and die cuts. All right, let me get this out of the way. So here are the 3 cards we created tonight. We cased the catalog, and by case I meant we copied and shared. Not clean and simple in this one. And we copied and shared page 94 of the annual catalog featuring the inked botanicals suite. You guys have any questions about any of the projects that we created tonight, please don't hesitate to let me know. And I will thank you, and I will see you on Sunday. Thanks for watching.